What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of my Pentagon slash Hexagon series. Today, Sport Recife are going to be taking on Gremio in the revenge match from an episode earlier in the series where we lost to Gremio 1-0 away from home. So now we're taking them on at home, and with 3 points, it can help boost us a little bit in the table. As you can see, we're sitting in ninth place, 33 points off of 24 matches. If we get a win, that'll boost us possibly to 7th, but just taking a look at the teams above us, I don't think it's going to happen. You got Santos, Fluminense, Sao Paulo, Corinthians. Atletico Mineirão are now in 4th place when they were at the end of the last episode right around us. They were around 10th place. So seeing them jump all the way up, they won a lot of matches to get to where they are right now. Flamengo in 3rd, Vasco da Gama 2nd place, and Cruzeiro on top with 51 points through 24 matches. We are 18 points back from that. I'd love to be top 6. I think top 6 is kind of realistic at this point. But taking a look at the gap between us and current 6 Sao Paulo, that's still 7 points off. That's going to be a rough ride trying to get to that position. But that's going to be my goal for the season, is try and finish top 6 at the very least in the top 10. And right now I'm on pace for that. But we'll see how it goes down. Taking a look at some of the fixtures since our last live com from Sao Caetano in the Copa do Brasil, let's take a look at how we did in the 4th round versus Atletico Mineirão in the home leg, the first leg. We drew against them 1-1, and there were a couple of key things here in this match that need to remember for the second leg. The first is that Luciano missed a penalty in the 18th minute. That could have put us up 1-0 early, and then this Borachinha goal in the 47th minute would have put us up 2-0 and had a very commanding lead against Atletico Mineirão. But unfortunately, he missed the penalty and did not give us that lead that we would have liked. And in the 84th minute, Mineirão scored the equalizer, and as you can see, put it all at 1-1. And that away goal was very important for them because in the second leg, well, a whole lot of nothing happened. It was a 0-0 draw, and Atletico Mineirão advanced by virtue of that one away goal. So it all comes down to those two key elements from the first match. That missed penalty by Luciano, which could have put us up 2-0, and unfortunately conceding that late goal in the 84th minute. If either of those items flipped, we could have advanced to the quarterfinals. But unfortunately, Mineirão won, and we're out of the Copa do Brasil now. So all we need to do is focus on the Brasileirão, and of course the Sudamerica. Yeah, Copa Total Sudamerica, once that comes up the following day after this match. So a little disappointing, but getting to the 4th round was what the board wanted. And I felt that Mineirão were a good side. I felt our team was a good side to match up against them as well. And I will show you why, actually, in a little bit. So going back to the actual league matches, we followed up the Sao Caetano victory with a 3-0 loss against Cruzeiro away from home. It was just a whole lot of nothing on our point. We just could not make any shots, could not string any attacks together, couldn't hold on to the ball very much. It was pretty much one of the big low points of the season. And Cruzeiro just walked all over us, scoring 2 goals in the first half and then capped one off early on in the second. Yeah, not very much to write home about. But we then compounded that loss with a 2-1 defeat at home against Vasco da Gama, and it was all good for us at the start. I mean, Nassim Nahar with a goal 3 minutes in. Unfortunately, Luciano got himself injured. I believe it was a superficial injury. He wasn't out for very long, like maybe a week tops. But Nathan and Thiago from Vasco da Gama scoring 2 goals, and very deservedly so, since if you take a look at the shots total, they outshot us 3-1. 24 shots to our 8. The time of possession really didn't matter all that much. It was just they had more attacking chances, and we're able to put more balls on net. And when you do that, more often than not, if your keeper is average at best, some balls are going to go in. And it just broke Vasco's way this day, and we did not get any points. I would have liked to have the draw, but once again, late goal being our downfall. We did, however, get back onto the winning ways as, like I said, we defeated Atletico Mineral at home 2-0, with Luciano netting himself a brace in the 7th and 25th minutes were the goals. And this is what set me up to think that, we could take on Mineral at home and possibly get the win in the Copa do Brasil. It was this match, and as you can see, 20 shots to their 14, majority possession. This was a match where I don't know if they were just tanking it or they were preparing themselves for other matches, bigger matches, but we surprised them and came out with a nice 2-0 victory to help bolster our league position, because I believe we were sitting in 10th place at this time. So anything that we could have done to help boost us up the table was a good thing. We followed that up with another 2-0 victory against last place Ponte Preta, Everton and Lima picking up goals in the first and second half respectively. They outshot us though. They outshot us grossly, 19-6, and held onto the ball way too much. They just could not find anything in front of net, and Fabio saved everything that came his way. Wasn't too bothered outside of those 5 shots on goal by Ponte Preta, as everything else was either well wide or well above. There wasn't anything close that would be deemed there wasn't any shots not on target that would have been deemed close. So could be thankful at that point. But still, 6 shots on the last place team was really worrying. And it worried me going into the Palmeiras match, as this would signal the start of the second leg of matches, since I believe we started the season against Palmeiras. Oh no, we did. We started against Palmeiras right there. But we followed those back-to-back victories up with an unfortunate 3-0 loss to Palmeiras at Palmeiras. We held them down for a good portion of the first half, but then the wheels fell off in the second, as Nathan, one of the wonder kids that I was scouting earlier in the year, or actually earlier in the save, comes up with a brace for Palmeiras and puts it out of reach, effectively giving them the 3 points. 18 shots to our 7. Possession doesn't matter at this point when you have a great goal scorer sitting there for you right in the center of the park. Then we followed that up with actually a very surprising victory against Flamengo, and this came right in the middle of the Atletico Mineral matches, so I don't know what Flamengo was thinking. They were probably taking us a little too lightly, as, like I said, we defeated them 3-1 away from home. Salio picking up a brace, a penalty kick in the 33rd, and then compounding that right away in the 36th. And then LF picking up the, I guess you could say, the game capper in the 90th minute. It really wasn't necessary, but every goal and any goal counts, especially against the top 5 team like Flamengo. 23 shots on their part, though, to our 10, so we were just really lucky in our chances getting the ball on net, and as you saw, 3 of them went past. So really lucky to pick up the 3 points and help keep us above midway in the table. We then followed that up once again with another surprising victory against a top 5 team, and that was against Santos, 3-0 at home. Jorge Moreira, Lima, and Salio all picking up goals. This time we outshot them, 15 to their 6. They didn't have any single shot on net, which is very fortunate for us, as I was playing Fabio. I thought I was playing in the youngster Gustavo, but any time your keeper doesn't have to work on the day and you win, it's always a good day. So as you can see, this was actually our last league win for now. We were up to 6th place at this point, but then back-to-back losses to Atletico Paranense. It was unfortunate right here. We are holding them down, and it was a lucky bounce in the 80th minute that got Atletico Paranense out in the lead, and eventually we got them all 3 points. I thought with the way the match was playing, we could have had all 3 points at any time, but just bad shots, only one of them on target. At this point, before they scored the goal, I was just going to concede the draw. And when you play for the draw, everyone knows you play for a draw, you're going to end up losing, and that's what happened today. So really disappointed in that. I was even more disappointed in losing to Sao Paulo away from home 4-1, especially after defeating Flamengo and Santos earlier. I thought, okay, we can hang with Sao Paulo, we can hang with the top 5 team. No, right from the off, they just shoved it down our throats. 3 goals in the first half from them, and we didn't even get on the board till early in the second. So it was a match that I could take a look at and say, okay, I need to stop playing a little more defensive, maybe try and go a little more attacking. As you can see, we only took 8 shots, 4 of them on target. We did have majority possession, but it didn't matter in the end. The Sao Paulo just kept kicking it in the goals. And that is where we sit right now in the league. I do have one thing to note, and it's another bit of transfer news. We did get rid of Everton because the aging striker just wasn't doing it for us anymore. He just wanted to get more play time, but every time I played him, he would be at a 6'5", a 6'6", wouldn't be scoring any goals. Well, actually, I should say he scored one more goal in that run of form. But, yeah, I needed to get rid of him, and I felt it was best to offload him for the price that he was going for. I sold him at £750,000, which is a really nice chunk of change for a 30-year-old striker. And I turned around and I bought Mosquito from Criciúma for only $1.7 thousand. Oh, for only £1,700. 27-year-old striker. Reminds me a little bit of Eric in terms of his polygon. He is a little faster than Eric, same type of attacking style. He is striker only, but I want to try and play him as an AMC and see how he does there. As you can see, I only played him in one match. He did fairly decent, didn't really factor in all that much. But yeah, decent pace, 13 there and a 14 for acceleration, good mentals, and I really like his finishing. I feel that, for the trade-off of Everton's contract and picking up all that money in transfer fees and then getting Mosquito, I believe for £200,000 less per year, I think it was a win-win situation for us. Now we just need to hope that he actually produces when I play him. And we do have one more transfer possibly coming in, and that's going to be Abdelhad Bakda, coming from Sao Paulo. He's a 25-year-old center mid who can also play AMC, and just take a look at when I scouted him. Yeah, he doesn't have everything there, but from what I scouted, he's right up my alley. He may not be the fastest player in the middle of the park, but his jumping ability, his technical skills, and his overall run of play is exactly who I want in the center of the park. He's Algerian, which will take up the final foreign player spot in my side. But if I can land him for less than $563,000 that he's already at Sao Paulo for, who knows? Maybe I can actually make a late run in the season and push up to 6th place. All right, so enough talk. Let's get into this match with Grêmio today. Grêmio are going to be playing a very wide 4-5-1 formation. This is actually the formation that I resigned to the last 5 or 6 matches. I believe it started with the Atlético Mineirão win is when I started using this. It's a very deep 4-4-1-1. As you can see, I use 2 defensive midfielders now, mostly because I have plenty of players in the middle of the park who are not just center mids but also defending mids that I could take advantage of, and they can play up in the middle but can also do well when they drop back to that defensive mid position. So I figured this would be the best formation. He gets, like I said, the people deep, and then having the lone AMC who can drop back and forth and build up that run of play and try and make something happen, as well as have Nahar and Morera run up the wings when they need to, as well, for the extra attackers. So this is going to be who I'm using today, starting 11-wise. Fabio in net, Patrick, Aleph, Ramalho, and Arana were going to be my back four. My two defending mids are Duarte and Borachinha. My two wide wings are going to be Morera and Nahar. Octavio is going to be the lone AMC, and Luciano is going to be the lone striker. Luciano, who has already set a new Sport Recife goal-scoring record this season. He has 30 goals through 39 starts and 8 subs. So I want to see him keep bagging them in. And if we can get Salio and Eric back from injury, they're combined 28 goals as well. That can help us in the long run as well. So let's kick off and see if we can get revenge on Gremio. Alright, and we kick off. As we're the home team, we will be in our traditional red and black hoops, and Gremio are going to be in their secondary whites. And already Gremio with the kickoff, driving deep into our zone. A good dispossess ends that attack. Free kick, Duarte about 25 yards out, or actually 20 yards out, but it was well wide. Off the restart, and keep possession. Octavio to Duarte. Try to get some play through the back. Now through the center. Octavio on a run. Needs to find the pass. Gets it right back. Borachinha. Find the runner. Luciano. What are you shooting at? I don't know what that was, but that was a shot, and what a save by their keeper. I don't even know if he was aware that was a shot. Anyway, we get the corner kick. Borachinha gets it right back. Whips it across. Octavio with a weak shot. That's easily saved by the keeper. No trouble for him. Man, it's two shots by Octavio that definitely could have done a lot better. Duarte, another free kick, but that's right at the keeper this time. Another save. We're getting shots on net. Duarte, here we go again. Off the post! And no one is there to recover. Gremio's defenders get there right away. Quell that attack. That's disappointing. That would have been a great top corner shot had he made it. It was off the post, and none of my guys reacted fast enough to catch in the rebound. And that's just a horrible, horrible pass. And now Gremio could hit us on a counter. Good passing. Turns around the keeper. It's off the post. Oh, unlucky for them. Turnabout is fair play. We get unlucky off the bar, and they themselves get unlucky off a sitter off the bar. Here we go again. Luciano just shoots it wide left. Coming up to the halfway point. 6 shots to their 1. Luciano finds the runner. Oh, once again, shoots it wide left. Come on, son. You need to finish that. Yellow card for them. And we go into halftime 0-0. Not a lot of action. We've had plenty of shots, but just cannot come up with the finishing. Come on, boys. Go out there and play your hearts out. Yeah, defensive, you weren't bad. Midfielders, you weren't bad, but you could do better. And finishing, you weren't bad, but you can do better. All right. Second half, we get the kickoff. We need to find a way to break through that net. We're getting into the penalty area. We're getting into the 18-yard box, but we're not finishing the chances. 9 shots, 3 of them on target. Now Gremio have an attack in our half, but that's dispossessed, and we need to hold on to that ball. We're getting a little too antsy. We're really trying to make a goal happen, and that's a tackle right. Oh, that ball went directly tackled to a Gremio player, and they just continued their attack. Okay. I'll let this go since one of my players just got injured. Octavio is out. And if this will stop. Okay, resulted in a yellow card. But Luciano's going to have to drop back now. And who am I going to throw up front? Now, actually, Luciano does not have to drop back because I have Lima and Carabina I can throw in there. Who is better? I think Lima's a little better. So we're going to throw Lima in for Octavio. And is there anyone else I want to take off at this point? Duarte's not doing all that well. I'm going to bring out Tupa for Duarte. And we'll let that go. I also want to try and encourage the boys, tell them to push forward since they have not had an attack this half. So, tell them to push up. Nothing wrong with that. And once again, Gremio on the attack. 15 minutes from time. Just need to hold him down, boys. Hold him down. Defense. Great passing. Even better save by Fabio. That was a little too worrisome. Corner comes in. Headed away. Gremio still has the ball. Come on, boys. We need some better tackling. Like that, but not to a Gremio defender. There we go. Can we hit him on the counter? Patrick. Passing ahead. Oh, Lima. Just come on. Borchina, free kick. Where are you aiming? Wow, 2 minutes from time. Just not a lot happening this match. This has just been extremely dull. And actually extremely disappointing on our part since we've had 15 shots, 5 of them on target, but no goals to show for it. It's extremely disappointing. There should have been at least 2 that I can count of. And Gremio, no! Oh, boys, are you kidding me? Oh, no. The very end of the match, from the 3 minutes of stoppage time, Gremio score. Oh, unbelievable. I have no words. That was just unbelievable. With 30 seconds from time, they score the game winner. Oh, jeez. Not happy. And of course, you're all fired up from that. That was fucking dumb. Extremely dumb. We get 15 shots, 5 of them on target, 2 of them I can count of that should have been a goal. To be fair, Gremio should have had a goal off their crossbar shot when he turned around our keeper. No, we should have won this match. Unbelievable. We should have won this match. Nothing else to say from that. And there's results from today. So dumb. We should have won that. Alright, so let's skip forward to the Copa Sudamerica draw. But, oh, come on. The defense wasn't even doing that bad. How did he get left alone? That's what I want to know. He just got left alone, and he was able to take that shot from 25 yards out, and it just happens to go in. Fortunately, Octavio did not sustain an injury, so I guess we can be pleased with that. But yeah, I'm going to try and experiment a little with some other some other AMCs, because Carabina can play up there. Lima, obviously. Octavio, obviously, he started. Luciano's actually getting more proficient at center AMC. Even though he's a left attacking mid, he's a left winger, but he can drop back and he's actually somewhat competent there. So that'll give me plenty of options if I want to play somebody else up front, like Eric, like Salio, like Mosquito, give him a couple extra chances. But we should have the draw coming up soon. And maybe they won't even announce it. in that. Okay, now it says in the club we are part of Copa Total Sudamerica, but it's not showing us in here. Oh, game. Oh, game. Please don't tell me that you're showing this from last season. Like, were we in last season? Let me take a look. Okay. No, we weren't in it last season. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, because it's saying we're in the Copa Sudamerica, but the draw for it just happened, and we're not in it. So I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if we were supposed to be in the first round. There's no way we're in the quarterfinals, because that's 16 teams right here. I don't know what the game's doing. It says we're in the Copa Sudamerica, but we never got drawn into it, so I don't know. That's just another thing that's leaving me a little mad right now. But whatever. Let's take a look at what the schedule has for us. That's last season. So we got 2, 3. I'm thinking just go through the rest of the season now. Maybe even live com Ponte Preta at the very end of the season, just to give an overall recap at that point. We're now down to 11th place. But yeah, we'll come back for live com the last match against Ponte Preta. And yeah, hopefully we do better against like the next 10 or so teams before we get to that point. So until Ponte Preta, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, if you like bad and very infuriating football, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Comments, suggestions, questions, banter, please leave it in the comment box below. But until next time, this is Gendo. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.